And if they make decisions that make money, then they're personally and legally responsible for it. So let's say you're building a technology and you have a choice with $1 million budget to build a new feature that will work really well for Black Americans, or build a new feature that's going to work really well for Native Americans. Well, Native Americans are a small percentage of the population in Black folks. So you might go invest that because it's the right thing to do, because you'll have to work for that community, and then personally be responsible for paying that $1 million back to the company, and be legally held responsible because you did something that might have been the right thing but didn't make money. So we just have to be real about any of these technologies that come out are built in that environment, right? And so too, how do we approach new technologies in a way to make sure that they're built for us? Well, there are two levers we can pull. The first is education, like Wyclef talked about. We can make sure that we're aware of the fact that these technologies are oftentimes not built with people who look like us anymore, or even built with us in mind. And we can be aware of that and, use the features and functionalities they have and report things when they go bad. The second level that we have is policy. And policy, I want us to rethink of it as boundaries. Now, companies, because they have to do everything they can to make money, they're not necessarily going to slow down and always do the right thing, unless there's going to be a punishment on the other end if they don't, right? And that's where policy comes in, rules and regulations. So I'll give you an example. Amazon was just fined $25 million by the FTC, the Federal Trade Commission, because they had the Alexa, when they had children's recordings. So like a kid would say, hey Alexa, or ask Alexa something, they were keeping it. Even after parents had asked it to be deleted. And then they told the FTC, no, we actually had deleted those voice recordings, but they actually had. And so, do you think $25 million is enough of a fine for keeping your child safe for a multi-billion-dollar company? Do you think that's going to stop them from doing that in the future? Right? And so that's where policy comes in. We need to have laws that punish the companies for when they make decisions that are actually harmful and hurtful. And Europe has a really good model for that. Now, on top of that, on a personal level, there are two things that you have to do. Wyclef mentioned the education piece. You got to teach your kids about it. The other is that you as parents, or as aunties and uncles, you also have a responsibility to use the tools inside of the apps and inside of these platforms that help you guide your child's experience in a way that is appropriate for children. So, very popular app that you may or may not have heard of, YouTube. A few years ago, we had a massive scandal called S.O.U.L. You can look it up, like Elsa from Frozen, where on YouTube Kids, people were making these crazy cartoons, but it was like Spider-Man beating up Elsa, like violent videos that ended up inside of YouTube Kids. So then they had to go back and delete all the YouTube Kids videos and basically reset what. Make sure that they're not going in things that. But we also, as individuals, have a responsibility to be personally present and accountable to make sure we're using the right features and functions to protect our
There's an important conversation that we have here about the balance of doing good while doing good. There's a way to make money and still not harm people. You are in this unique position where you're investing, you're also heavily involved in politics and social issues, etc. How can you position the company to this point of capitalism? How can we do good while doing good?
Well, I just want to say a few things. I feel like I'm sitting next to somebody who's going to be in the history books. White guys are already in the history books. But when you think about the last century, and you think about a Fannie Lou Hamer, a Rosa Parks, an Ella Jo Baker, when you think about this century, that's X. I realize you don't understand. That's what we're talking about somebody on this stage who was fighting. She didn't just talk like this around Negroes. She's been hired by the biggest and the best companies and went in there and did real battle and won real battles. AI couldn't even tell the difference between black people and gorillas. She's the person, they are the person that fixed that whole problem. We thought that because we have the White House, and God doesn't hope that we get it again. But just having the White House and not having power. Just having the White House and not having power. What we discovered when we got to the White House is there was other sources of power that tied that brother up in knots. Number one, Washington, D.C. is political power, but Wall Street is financial power. And that's a whole other source of power that you guys are starting to figure out. And that Earn Your Leisure is really getting us into. Another source of power is Hollywood, storytelling, entertainment, all that sort of stuff. Now, we often are the stars, but we don't own the studios. Unless you're Tyler or Oprah, a lot of times we don't own the studio. So we don't have the real power that we deserve. And then lastly is Silicon Valley, technology. That is the real growing superpower of all the powers that will control the other three. Technology will control finance, politics, and culture. And so I want you to go there and to win. I want you to go there and to dominate. But before you get there, your existing company needs to win. You have the opportunity this week, the thing about AI is, guys, this week to use the tool I just told you to win this week. You have to write stuff. Use ChatGPT to write faster and more. You have to make presentations. Use Gamma to make them faster, better, more beautiful. You have to make videos. Use Runway to make the video. You might want to make some music. You can use S.O.U.L to make the music. You have to make images. Use Midjourney. I'm not getting paid to tell you this. I'm not a part of these companies. I'm trying to put weapons in your backpack. I want you to go out there and go faster and money. I want you, don't go to a lawyer before you went on ChatGPT and said, this is what I think the contract should be. I want you to review it. You just saved $5,000 by bringing the example. Now, it might be slightly wrong, but that's better. You can use ChatGPT for that. There are tools that other people are not yet using. Yes. That you can get on this week. Also, 2 books. So I can see some of y'all think